Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today we're going to be jumping down into the charts for Shiba Inu to take a look at what's been going on most recently and see if we can actually answer that one very important question. Can Shiba Inu get to 1 cent? As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you'll be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. Go ahead, join. It's free. I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. If you're looking for a little bit more from the crypto space and you want to understand a little bit more on the education of how to do charting, how to kind of trade this space a little bit more safely, why not check out the Patreon services as well, linked in the description down below. Right, let's get right on into this. Right, so I've been for clarity, I should also say I'm not invested in SHIB. I basically have a community that really wants to know what's going on here, but I'm not invested in it, so this is completely unbiased. I'll give you my honest thoughts and opinions on what I think is likely to go on here with this one. So we're going to start things off really on this daily chart, and I'm going to actually delete everything off of here for a sec, because I think really what we have to do is we have to understand the structure of what's going on to really be able to answer that question, right? Because there's quite a fair amount of data here that can help us understand where this is likely to go and how it's going to get there, right? It's not necessarily going to be a straight rocket all the way up, and there's going to be some turbulence, there's going to be some moves, but essentially, you know, this is a pretty good indication of the kind of structure that we want to see. Okay, that's pretty good structure here, and pretty impulsive in its nature, and that's the kind of structure that we want to see. And this is actually pretty corrective and pretty natural considering the market, kind of, you know, how it's been reacting and how it's been kind of trading since Bitcoin pulled back and all that kind of good stuff. So this is pretty much aligned to one of what you see on many different cryptocurrencies, a bit of a turning point right down here, and some good stuff as well. So before I get into all of that in a really good way, what I want to do is I think I'm going to start off with kind of going through this for a sec. I'm just going to drop this down into our hourly chart here for a sec, because last time I spoke about this, we were inside the Elliott wave triangle. We're still inside there. It looks like the E wave, we had an A wave coming out of the triangular wedge, and the B wave coming up. The B wave now also looks like some kind of wedge as well, and then we'll have this pull back down into a C wave. This is going to be the turning point, in my opinion, at 0.00002399. Okay, that's going to be the area that I do think that we are likely to see the reversal. Okay, so just keep an eye out that might be your optimized point for purchase, and I do think that at least I may rephrase that, because I'm not a financial advisor, I can't offer you financial advice. This would be the area that I would be considering purchasing, and of course this will be the area that I would be looking at selling. It's about a 37% push, and it basically mirrors this A to the C wave right here. Okay, so that's kind of what's going on the shorter time frames, essentially, right? So what we've kind of got is a pullback down and then a surge up, but this is pretty typical of what's going on in the market right now over the weekend. And then of course, you know, we'll rally on up about 37% around that range, this depending on the structure that forms, of course, because normally on these E waves we end up with a 5-wave structure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it might overextend that. We'll have to see how that kind of goes, but essentially I'm looking for about 37% on that one, and that's kind of what I think is going on a short time frame. If you want more detail on all of that, check out the video I did a couple of days ago on SHIB. But let's go ahead and jump on up into that daily again, and what I will do is now remove all that again. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about 1 cent, right? Can SHIB reach 1 cent? So first of all, we have to really zoom out here and pay attention to all the data that we have. Okay, so what do we have? Well, we have a bit of a pullback since launch. Okay, so up here, this is Binance data as well, by the way, guys. It's probably got a lot more data elsewhere, but these exchanges only really pulled it in at certain points. Let me just rally that up here. There we go. Cool. So we're down 87% pretty much since it launched on Binance. Okay, so it rallied up in one day and then crashed down 89%. So let me get the timing on that. May, yep, makes sense. All the way down to the lows of September, makes sense. Highs up there in October, makes sense as well. That's when Bitcoin was basically 65k over here, 69k over here. Okay, so basically you're following Bitcoin. So that's pretty interesting. So that gives us an idea that actually, you know, we've got a lot of correlation between what Bitcoin is doing and what Shiba Inu is doing. Okay, despite the fact, you know, it can be tweeted about by certain influencers and rally up. Actually, what if you're actually following Bitcoin's patterns as well, right? Bitcoin fell down quite massively here, and Bitcoin rallied up massively here. So the market sentiments were very important to the outlook of SHIB, right? So right now the market outlook is quite bearish, has been pretty much since $69,000, although this one little move right here has actually brought a lot of confidence back into the space. Personally, I've been confident pretty much since March 2020 when I first got into some pretty good positions on cryptocurrency. So for most part, this is all looking pretty good to me, to be honest with you, and it's seeing good structure. But essentially, we have a really good run up here, right? This is pretty much a clear 5-wave run. Okay, and again, I'll mark that up, right? We have wave 1, we have wave 2, we have wave 3, we have wave 4 coming down here, and wave 5 coming up. I'm just going to remove that magnet. So we have a 5-wave structure. And then we have an ABC structure coming down, and there's nothing really glamorous about this. I mean, people might want to make this more than it is, but essentially it's an ABC. And inside here, it looks like we have a lot of overlap, so it's probably some kind of, WXYXZ, some kind of double or triple correction in there. But that one's a pretty standard ABC and an ABC upwards. So it's a 3-3. Messy kind of 7 probably, something like that, but nonetheless it's an ABC on the bigger scale, so that's perfectly fine. This then marks our point of reversal. Okay, so we obviously are talking about SHIB moving up about 37%, but actually the reality is it can go significantly higher than that, and that is because of what's going on here. So if we were to grab this movement and this one right here, then we were to move that over to the lows, we can see that we might be moving up here, right? So if this is a big ABC, so again, here we actually have really reasonable good structure. We could argue that this is 5 waves on the smaller scale, so we could say that there's 5 waves in there, and then we have some kind of ABC structure here. Now, this correction could still be playing out. It could be some kind of more complex correction where we actually are going to come down to maybe a double bottom, which I think is a possibility. Alternatively, it is something that we could acknowledge as moving up to the 0.00004278. Okay, so coming right up into that high point. And if we were to take that from the current price to there, it's about a 66% move, but we're still nowhere near that 1 cent range just yet. Okay, but essentially what we would look for here is potentially a bigger correction, and it could happen that we actually see this thing pull back down into these lower ranges again. Now, we don't necessarily want to see that, but it is a possibility, and we should be open to the idea. The alternative measurement on this will be that we tidy this up and actually take a look at it from a slightly different perspective, that maybe we have to come down first, right? Here's an A wave, this is a B wave with a double top, you can see that, and I could be wrong about moving that higher. I don't think I am though. And then of course we pull that in. This is just a possibility. I don't think it's probable, personally. This would take us down to about 0.00001754. And again, there we would lose about, let me just grab hold of my percentage points. We would lose approximately 31%, but I think we're more likely going to be pushing up to the 37% push upwards rather than down. So that would basically invalidate that structure. So that's kind of what we're looking at potentially then. Now, this doesn't help us get into the idea or the world of thinking about where are we going to go to? Are we going to go to the dollar? So if this is just corrective and we've got 5 waves, then we could be looking at a 5-3-5 structure. Wave 1, A, B, and C coming up higher. Okay, so on that note, then we should be thinking, okay, well, what's the measurement here? So let me grab hold of the, where is it? Magnet here, yes, here. So we'll grab hold of this to here, yeah, and then we'll move it over to here, yeah, like so. And then basically we would potentially look for 5 waves coming. That's bad. Let me just get rid of that magnet again. We'd look basically for 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 waves coming up here. Okay, this again doesn't get us to that 1 cent range. This puts us at 0.000298. 27, a pretty significant run, and something that I do think is possible, right? Is talking about 10x, right? I think that's comfortable. We could potentially see that. If, however, we end up with something that runs much, much higher, which is also a possibility, you know, we actually continue this run. In order to get to 1 cent, we would have to go past, we would have to, to be honest with you, I just cannot see 1 cent here. There's no way for me to technically measure up 1 cent. I mean, even if we were to go to some of these crazy levels, we would have to be somewhere between our 1.618 and our 2.618. It's a possibility, but you'd have to dwarf everything that we've done already, and the percentage gains on there would just be about 1 cent, would put us about here. It's 38,000%. It's not unheard of, it's not uncommon, but you'd have to have something significantly happen to be able to do that. Right now, I think we could comfortably say that you got a 10x in it. I think that's probable, but going higher and above and beyond that, particularly when you start saying, maybe moving up, that many x's, 38,000%, it's possible. It certainly is possible, but I think we'd have to see a lot from the influencers. Elon Musk would have to tweet some pretty insane things about SHIB to be able to do that. Definitely possible, but I don't think probable. So I do think there's some pretty interesting gains to be made here, pretty much in line with the rest of the crypto market. There's nothing crazy about this. I mean, the insane gains I feel have probably already happened in these really early stages here, when there was about 1,600%. So yeah, I mean, overall, if you were to take it from the very bottom and we were to ride it up to that high point that I do think is probable, you're talking about 5,700%. So, pretty much similar to what Bitcoin is doing and has done, but nothing too glamorous. If we do start to see this really, really run well, then yeah, it could potentially push up higher, but 1 cent seems a little bit out of reach, at least at the moment, under these current structures that I can see here from a technical analysis perspective. But guys, I would love to be wrong. If you're invested in SHIB, I would love for you to become a millionaire, and I'm not biased in any way. I don't wish harm to SHIB or anything like that, and I do wish it does incredibly well. But for now, I just cannot see it moving to 1 cent. Guys, if you found this video useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.